Subject English, Standard 4th. Hello students, my name is Shruti Nanaware and our today's lesson is about computers. Charles Babbage invented the first mechanical computer. Let us read and understand the lesson. So let's begin. You have learned the mathematical operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. You can do sums which involve any one or more of these operations. You may also solve complicated sums which involves all of these operations. Now here let me tell you what is a computer. A computer is nothing but an electronic device that can store, find and arrange information. It also does calculations for us. Now in this passage that I read for you, we come to know that mathematical operations, what are they? Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Now all these operations that you have learned in your school, which you are doing in your maths, can also be done on this computer. Now you can do all these things in a very easier way, much simpler way, finding out answers, carrying out these expressions, these operations in a very simple way and manner. Now let us move to the next line. You can calculate the answers quickly if you use tablets, but sometimes it is necessary to carry out very complicated calculations that involve very large numbers. Now here, as we read, when we use our tables, it is very easy to calculate things, numbers very quickly. But sometimes it becomes complicated. It becomes difficult when there are big numbers, large numbers need to be calculated. At such times, mistakes are bound to occur in the calculation. What happens at such times? We make mistakes. Then you waste a lot of time. How can we avoid these errors and wastage of time? When your answers go wrong, what happens? You will keep checking the answers, you will recheck, and what happens? You lose a lot of time. Now let's see how can we avoid this time wastage or errors that occurs while we calculate. A computer is a machine that is an answer to all these problems. Now, what is the solution to the problem? A computer. Now, this computer that I told you is a machine which does a number of calculations, stores information, arranges information for you. So, this is the answer to all the problems. Computers can solve problems and carry out the most difficult calculations with amazing speed and accuracy. Now, when we calculate, we try to add, subtract, multiply or divide. We take a lot of time, but this computer, this machine carries out all these different difficult calculations in a very easy, amazing speed and with accuracy. That means quickly and correctly without mistakes. Computers can do several other things besides carrying out calculations. Now we know that the computer not only carries out different operations, mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. These are called as calculations, but also they can do much more. In fact, there are few things that a modern computer is not able to do. That means a modern computer can do many other operations as well. Next para. Computers have memory. Now we all know that we have memory, we remember things, we memorize things. In the same way, it is said that computer also have memory. Computer have memory, remember this. That is, they can store a lot of data or information. Why do we say that they have memory? Because they can store a lot of data and information. They can keep words, pictures, and sounds in their memory and give you the information within a fraction of a second when you need it. Now, why it is said that the computers has a memory? Because they not only store words, sounds or pictures, but they also give it to you when you need it within a fraction of a second. That means very quickly, in no time, you can get access to all these things. They are stored in a computer, that is, words stored in a word file, pictures stored in gallery, and also the music or songs you have stored in computer. Computers can process the data or the information according to the instructions given to them. Now the computers can process the data according to the instructions which are given to them. Whatever you want the computer to do, that is the instructions that you give, and the computer will follow it accordingly to the instructions given. A modern computer can follow thousands of instructions within a fraction of a second. A modern computer is very quick and it follows the instructions, many instructions in a short period of time within a fraction of a second. Only the instructions have to be given in a language that the computers understand. Now, the computer can give you a lot of information in a fraction of a second, but provided you instruct the computer or you give instructions in a language that the computer understands. So, the instructions must be given in such a way that the computer understands it in a computer language. You must have heard elder people talking about the computer language like Java or C plus or so many other computer language. A set of code instructions written for a computer is known as a computer program. Is a specialized task. Now, a set of code instructions written for a computer is known as a program. Now, what is a program? It is a set of code instructions which is written for a computer in a specific language, and this is called as a program. Writing a computer program is a specialized task. Now everyone cannot write computer program. It is a specialized task done by the people who are trained for it. A computer on its own does not make any judgment about the instructions given to it. Now here the computer does not make any judgment because it is a machine, but it only follows the instructions given to it. It follows the instructions blindly. Now here computer follows the instructions blindly because it cannot think like you and me. It only works on the program which is given to it, the instructions which are given to it. That is why the instructions have to be written very carefully. So you understand why the instructions have to be given very carefully, because he will only follow your instructions, your program, and will not judge what you have written. The instructions must cover every step involved in an operation. Now, when you have to follow something, some operation, you have to give the instructions step by step without leaving a simple or a single instruction. You need to instruct the computer about every little step. If you miss a step, the computer will not correct it. I told you, it is not like you and me. It's a machine, so it cannot correct mistakes, but it only follows the program. Now, one has to think carefully to imagine every step involved in any task. Let us see if we can imagine all the steps involved in a task. Now, here we are said that when we are putting down the steps involved to perform a task, we need to be very careful. Suppose the mother has asked you to buy vegetables. You have to divide this task into smaller ones. Now, asking you to buy a vegetable is a simple task, but you need to break down it into smaller little tasks. What is it? Going to the greengrocer's shop, picking up the vegetables you want and paying for them, coming back home. So these are the steps involved in buying the vegetables. Then you have to subdivide these tasks into smaller ones. Now, after these three steps which I told you, those three steps are going to the grocery shop, picking up vegetables you want and paying them, and coming back home. Each step needs to be divided into much smaller ones or the smaller task. Now you can see a flow chart. Then you have to subdivide these tasks into still smaller ones, and the example is given to you in a form of a flow chart. That is, going to the greengrocer's shop, take the bag of vegetables, take money for the vegetables, start from your house, walk down the street, turn right or left, walk down the street, cross the street, enters greengrocer's shop. Now this was the flow chart, which shows minor details, information that needs to be done, the task that has to be done for completion or buying the vegetables. So this is how the task is divided or subdivided into different smaller tasks. Each of these smaller tasks can again be divided further into even smaller tasks. Try to do that choosing any one of the above steps. Thus, we see that computers are smarter than men, but it is men who do the difficult job of making them smart enough. So, you understand, this is very important to know this point, because we human beings design, program the little tasks that has to be done in different steps, as we feel that the computers are smarter than men, but it is not so. The man is more smarter because it is human being, it is a man who do the difficult job of putting down all the instructions and making the program. So the next time when you play a game on a computer or watch a video or obtain some information, think of the men who put in so many efforts to make it all possible. Now here it is a very important lesson for you, a very important thought which is given, that the next time when you play a game on a computer, I am sure that you all like to play a game on a computer or watch a video, and at times we also go and sit on a computer to find out different information. Now, when you are doing so, remember the men who put in so many efforts, that it's so much of hard work. Why? Because these men who are called as programmers or game developers, the one who make games are called as game developers. They work hard to do this for you and me. And therefore, when we use the computers to gain information, play a game, we need to remember these people, and therefore we can develop an attitude of being grateful or thankful for the people who help us. So, students, hope you have understood our today's lesson. So, keep learning and stay safe. Thank you.